Hi everyone, it's Kaswini here again. In my previous video, I showed you how to purchase an MNX Hexagon domain name, and I told you that in my next video, I'll be showing you how to name a hexagon using the purchased domain name. So, and this is the video. So, in this video, I'll be showing you how to name a hexagon using the MNS domain name you purchased earlier. All right. So, without further ado, let's dive in. All right, so the title of this documentation is Name a Hexagon. So this guide will help you to name a hexagon using any of your hexagon domain name. So prerequisites, you should already have a hexagon domain name. So you can get one using this guide here. All right, so let's go to the steps. Step one says navigate to the Wannsee ZK Explorer, and I'm just gonna click here so to go to the Wannsee ZK Explorer. So let me do that here. All right, let's wait for this to open. Okay. All right, so I'm using this docs here. With this doc, we should be able to name a hexagon domain name. All right. So so we are here, and let's go back to the docs. It says navigate to the Wannsee ZK Explorer. On the left hand side of the page, you will see a vertical list of icons. Click on the second icon titled Mapper. So and here we go. This is the second icon here. As you can see the title there, it's called Mapper. So I'm going to click on it, and let's wait for it to come up. This is taking a while. What's happening? So let me just reload it here and see. Awesome. So let's wait for the hexagons to show. All right, while the hexagon is coming up, okay, now we have the hexagons up here. So these are the hexagons we want to rename. So see these hexagons like different locations of items, or different locations of the MXC LP1s. So you can name one of these hexagon. For instance, let's say if a hexagon was located in Lagos, for instance, now you can name that location and give it your name. I can give it Kaswini, I can give it Chisom, whichever one I prefer. So if you want to tell someone where that hexagon is located, instead of telling the person this hexagon is located in Lagos, you tell the person that this hexagon is located at kaswini.mxc. So yeah, that's the importance of naming hexagon, like giving a location of an LP1 a personal identity and all of that. So let's go back to the documentation, and so this is step one. Going over to step two. So step two says get hexagon address. So on the mapper page, click on any of the hexagon. That's the green hexagon shape. Click on any. On click on the hexagon, you will see a modal at the right side of the screen. Click on the hexagon address, the first item on the list. Okay, let's do that quickly. I'm going to click on one of the hexagons. I'm clicking on this. It doesn't have a name, I guess. All right, it doesn't have a name. So after clicking on it, you see this modal at the right hand side of the screen. I'm going to click on the Hexagon address, which is this first guy here. So I'll click on it, and it's going to take me to like a detail page. So let's wait for it to load. Alright, so here we go. So going back to the docs, so step 3 says get the transaction hash. So on click on the Hexagon address in the previous page, it takes you to a transaction detail page. Copy the transaction hash and ask the MXC team for naming rights. So, but in the near future, we will put the naming rights NFTs in an NFT marketplace for people to purchase. So this is it. So the naming right is like you need something like a certificate or an approval, something that shows that okay, you have the right to name a hexagon, right? So for now, you have to request for naming right from the MXC team. But in future, this naming right will be in an NFT marketplace where you can go to the NFT marketplace, pay a particular amount of MXC tokens to purchase this naming right. So once you have the naming right, you can then use it to name any of the hexagons. But for now, you have to request for it. Awesome. So the next one say once naming right is given to your address, on the same transaction detail page where you copied the transaction hash, get/copy the token ID under the tokens minted section. All right, let's quickly follow this guy. Going to the transaction details page. So this is the transaction hash here, right? And it says copy the transaction hash to get a naming right. Okay, so once this is done, then the mirror is given to address. Okay, so you see the ID and all of that. So let me just quickly get this ID here. Now tokens minted, you can see this ID here, token ID. So we are making use of the first one. So let's check this documentation again. So this is it. The first one is what we are using here. All right. So let's get the first token ID. I'm gonna click on it so I will get the ID. All right. So this should be the ID. This guy here, token ID. So I'm gonna copy it. Then I'll go back to the docs. So step 4 says get the hex of the token ID. So hex here means hexadecimal, right? So after copying the token ID, navigate to rapid tables. So let me go to rapid tables. So rapid tables is used to convert numbers from different what's it called, from decimal to hexadecimal, from binary to decimal. Just you can convert different numbers, right? Okay, so on rapid tables, so it says here select from decimal to hexadecimal, paste the token ID you copied and convert, and click the convert button. So you will get a hexadecimal of the token ID. Copy the token hexadecimal. You will need it to name your hexagon. So rapid table is still loading. Let's wait for it. Alright, so I'm gonna select hexa. So as you can see, I'll have binary, decimal, octal, hexadecimal, and text. So I'm selecting from decimal and to hexadecimal. So I'm pasting the decimal numbers we copied. That's the token ID, and I'll click on the convert button. So this is the hexadecimal here. Yeah, so I'm gonna copy it then, and let's continue with the docs. Okay, so moving over to step 5. So go back to Wannsee MNS and set Hexagon domain. All right, so navigate to MXC Wannsee MNS. So I'm going to navigate to MXC Wannsee MNS here. Okay, let's wait for it to load. So while it's loading, let's quickly go through the step 5. So connect your wallet, search for your registered domain name and click on it. Click on the set to MP1002 Hexagon. Okay, so this guy should load very fast. Okay, so the domain we want to, in our previous video, the domain we registered was the toxaswift.mxe. So that's what we'll be using to rename our Hexagon. So I'm going to click on toxaswift.mxe. Wait for it to load. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so now I say connect your wallet. Let's see if my wallet is connected. All right, my wallet is already connected. And search for, okay, we already searched for Hexagon. So click on the set MEP1002 Hexagon. So let me click on it. I'm clicking on this guy. This is a button here at the bottom right. So I'll click on it. Then now you can see that we need that hex, the hexadecimal we converted to here. So this is where we're going to paste it, right? So it is that this hexadecimal is you're trying to point to the hexagon you actually want to name. So once you paste this hexadecimal here, it's like an ID that you are about to name, the ID of the hexagon you want to name. All right. So it says a model will pop up on the Paste it in the paste the hexadecimal gotten from the converted token ID. Click the confirm button. Click on open wallet. MetaMask will pop up. Click confirm on the MetaMask will pop up and wait for transaction to complete. All right. So I'm gonna paste that hex here. Come up again. So I'll paste the hex here. Now click confirm. So let's wait for it. Open wallet is supposed to be highlighted. Okay, so let's check this again. Saying an unknown error occurred. Let me quickly try this again and see. All right, so yeah, I was able to fix the error we're having. So the reason why we're having it wasn't working before was because I was using a different hexagon, which I didn't get a naming right for, right? So the hexagon you want to name, when you want to get a naming right, you will need to copy the address of the you need to click on the address of the hexagon you want to name and copy the transaction hash. So the transaction hash you're copying is tied to the naming rights you want to get. So if you get a naming right for a particular hexagon transaction hash, it is that hexagon transaction hash that you're going to name. You can't get a naming right for another hexagon transaction hash and then use it to rename another hexagon which you've not gotten the naming rights for. So that hexagon I clicked earlier, I don't have naming rights for it. So what I just did is I went to check the transaction hash of the hexagon I got naming rights for, and that was what I used here. So let me quickly show you what I did. So if you look at this place, I just pasted a new token ID here, and this is the transaction hash over here. So this is a transaction hash of this is the token ID and the transaction hash of the hexagon I want to rename and all of that. So moving over here, see the open wallet button has been activated to blue. So all we just need to do is click on it and wait for MetaMask to pop up. And yeah, MetaMask is coming up. So take note so you don't run into issues like this. If you get the naming right for a particular hexagon you want to rename, that is the hexagon you're going to rename using that naming right. You can't get a naming right for a different hexagon and then try to use it in another hexagon. Yeah, so that's why we're having that little error earlier. So let's wait for MetaMask. It takes some time to come up. Okay, MetaMask is here. So I'm just gonna click on the confirm button and wait for it. Okay, this transaction has been sent. So as you can see, let's wait for transaction is confirmed here. Let's wait for this this guy to change to green. Awesome. So you see we have done here. It's showing transaction successful here. This is a pop-up notification. So we can either click to view on Block Explorer to see the transaction we just did, the naming transaction we just did, or we can just click done here. So I'm clicking done. Then going back to the documentation, let's look at what we have next. So after naming, so you see you click on done. Now to confirm that the naming was successful, so go back to the Wannsee Explorer mapper. So I'll just quickly come back to the Wannsee Explorer mapper here. So let me quickly reload it. So once we get back to the Wannsee Explorer mapper, in the search box, type your domain name, which is the domain name you just use in naming a hexagon. So to see if any hexagon will carry that domain name. So I'm going here. Let's wait for the hexagons to come up. They are up. So I'm going to type in this search box here, I'm going to type .mxc. So you see it says found one matching MNS location. So I'll just click enter and it's going to take us to the hexagon that was named that name. So as you can see, this hexagon here is named Dr. Swift and it's also named Legalize. So yeah, this is it. Okay, that's pretty all we have in this video. And with this, you have successfully named a hexagon on the MXC Wannsee mapper. Thank you very much for watching this video, and do subscribe to get more of quality content like this. Bye.